can stop you from being deceived. If you try to find out what's up my sleeve, you can figure out what a bag of men. If you try, nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can.
Hey, my boy Reggie.
Yo,
My boy Reggie in the
what's
game.
good?
What's up, man?
What's good, everybody?
Reggie look like he laying down.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm chilling watching Cops. I got a few minutes.
So what's it cops?
I'm relaxing after a long day. You hear me?
Man, I see you said you watching Cops.
Yeah. We be chilling watching Cops. You know what I
Man,
mean?
Hey, you can watch that and never get old.
Hey, when you watch people try to run away, it's the funniest thing in the world, man.
Never get old. Yes, sir. How you been, man?
You know, can't complain. One day at a time. Getting ready for this trip next week.
Absolutely.
Getting ready for the trip next week, man.
It'll be.
It seemed like that time flew by.
Man, that's what I'm here to say.
Look, and I'm missing a few items of clothing, so I'm trying to rush and get everything together. And I keep saying, nah, I'll wait till the weekend, boy. That weekend will come so fast.
Right. Be right.
So, yeah, but you know, we get prepared.
What's going on?
Prepared.
Underbelly. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Reggie, while we got you on here, man, bring up that topic again so we can get these people.
So what you were saying though, Shy, that's a good part of it, but that's another side of it. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So what I was saying was, the thing is, it's a lot of negativity that comes with it. You will see a barber, they'll post up, hey, I'm charging $20, blah, 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 right? Okay. There's also not that the bigger names, quote unquote, be talking to a specific person, but when you got a person charging $20 or $15 for a cut, but then when they scroll, they see the bigger names, quote unquote, saying that if you charge this, you're not good, or if you charging $20, you know, they'll put you in a box where you will never be able to grow, rather than just saying, hey, if you charging this, these are the steps where you can eventually charge more. You get what I'm saying? I think that negativity that comes along with it, what that does sometimes, and I understood what you were saying, that there should be a price point that we all should be across the board, because there is undercutting that comes along with that.
Right.
But what that does when the bigger names, again, quote unquote, start to down talk those certain people, people that just started, or they cutting in their garage, they want to jump the prices too fast.
Right.
And now you got people that can't do a decent lineup. They just gonna paint your stuff, and now they want to charge $75 or $100. You get what I'm saying? Now, my thing is, if you can charge $100, if you can charge $50, do that. Like, never undercut yourself if you feel like that's what you can get. But don't down anyone who's not quite to that point yet. You know what I'm saying? It's just steps that you have to grow to get to that point. Now, if you come out of, hey, anybody watching this, if you come out of barber school and you can charge $200 for a cut, charge $200 for a cut. If you can do it, do it. Right. I just always think, you know, certain places where you stay and stuff, it might play a part in what you charge. Absolutely. You know what I mean? I think everybody should get out of the charging $15, $20, but there's a way to talk to those people without making them feel like, okay, I need to be charging this, or I'm not worth it. Because then, I'm sorry that if I'm rambling, because then once they do start charging $75 and they not busy, they like, man, you know, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, but you might be good. You just haven't grown that clientele yet, or you haven't grown
Right.
to that point to be able to charge $7,500 a cut. I say charge whatever you want to charge.
Right.
I'm never against nobody charging it.
Right.
I want to one day be able to charge 100, 150.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's all I was saying.
So let me.
But what Shy was saying is a great point. There should be, because that undercut is sometimes from city to city is not a problem. Like I'm in Knoxville, so if somebody in Vegas charging $100, or let's say they charging under me, they charging $10, that ain't killing me. It might be killing another barber out there.
That's right.
But then once you in the city, you across the board, you thinking everybody charging blah blah blah,
Right.
and then it's a cat down the street charging $7. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That can go one or two ways. That dude can be cold and not know his worth yet,
Right.
and getting people,
Right.
or he could just be messing people up, and then they end up coming to you for a fix. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of variables.
Right.
I got a question too, man. I thought about that because when you, like I said, you brought up the conversation. That was a super interesting conversation that I think needs to be had. My question is, do you think that some of that comes from that microwave mindset that barbers just coming into the industry are
Of
kind
course.
of up and they expect instant success?
Of course. But see, like when I was on here talking about the social media, we see people, so we judge what we doing, whether it's our haircutting skills, it's the shoes we wear, it's the trips we go on. We judging it off of people's highlights that we see online.
Right.
So I had to do that myself, because I'll see somebody, I'll be thinking like, damn, how so and so get to cut a superstar?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How so and so. Don't judge that. It's everybody's place and time in life, and what's meant for you will be meant for you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But
I feel like you ain't a real barber if you ain't never had that thought before, because I've definitely had that.
but and you going to, if you trying to grow, depending on what you want out of this, which you need to know what you want out of barbering. I mean, not even just barbering. Whatever career you in, you need to know what you want out of it before you start comparing yourself to everybody else. Because I'm not good with talking in front of a crowd. Not yet. I'm getting there, right? So when I judge myself, I be thinking like, why haven't I had that opportunity to teach at a CT or to teach at a, because you haven't put in them steps yet. You haven't done them works yet. I haven't done what it takes to do that yet.
Right.
But when I see other people doing, I be like, I just be so, look at you, messing something up. That's an expensive camera.
Hey,
You see the facial expression?
Yeah.
Hey, Shy.
Yeah.
You seeing that weight loss? I'm seeing that weight loss,
Hey,
man.
man, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah. But keep going, Reg.
Huh?
Keep going with.
But yeah, I'm just saying that it's just steps that everybody need to take before they could compare themselves to the higher ups. You know what I mean? Like, I used to do music. So when I was doing music, I was always like, why I'm not doing, because if you think you better, you're going to automatically, not even, I won't say that. If you think you good enough, you're going to automatically compare yourself to the higher ups.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That just comes along with the territory. But with that being the case of everything, you have to take those steps. You have to know you putting in the work before you can just say, why am I not there yet? You're not there yet because you haven't done the steps it takes to get there.
And something you said was 100% right too. If you don't have any deliberate focus on what it is that you're trying to accomplish, everything everybody doing is gonna always look good.
And that's why I say you got to figure out what you want to, what you want.
Right.
I think that's
down to.
I wanted to have this conversation with you, bro, because I hope you don't think I'm being argumentative. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said it could boil down to location. It could boil down to who you know and not what you know, because sometimes you'll see some of the guys out here, you'll see some haircuts, and then, you know, it might be a barber, and then you got some barbers' opinions that, hey, I didn't, you know, I think I could do better than that. Whatever. right? But it's also about gaining those relationships. So timing is everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Taking the proper steps, you know, and networking and all those things come with that importance, just like in any other career field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you get somebody. I've seen situations, and I might have touched on this last week, Shy. Somebody makes $100,000 just in any career field, right? And somebody that makes $50,000, and a person who makes $50,000 got more to show for their $50,000 than a person with $100,000. You know?
Yeah.
So to each its own, because everybody don't necessarily may not aspire to charge, you know, $100 a head. If they comfortable and you know where they at and they want to grow a little bit, it's up to the individual.
Well, Shy, I'm gonna say this: I do want to charge $100 a head one day. I'm not there yet.
No doubt.
Honestly, Reggie, bro, I respect your opinion of where you think you are, but me personally, you could be charging $150 right now where you at.
We got some things going on. Just I say it like that. We got some things in the works.
Okay.
We got some things in the works.
Yeah. So yeah, I've seen some people who feel like, man, I'm in a community and I have a responsibility to service my community, and so I don't, you know, you got single parents, I don't want to charge them out, so you know, it's different. I'm like you, I want to get to that bank account.
Right. I'm trying to get there. You know what I mean? But like I said, it takes time. Now, and hey, when you looked at that video though, when I said how much I charge, did you see my facial expression? Because things are about to change. Just know that.
Yeah, they about to go down, huh?
Yeah, they about to change, and it's we there. We there.
People that they was gonna change because I've seen how much work you put in.
Right.
Yeah. And that's why I say you got to be brave enough. You got to understand. People have to understand the certain things and be brave enough and understand why you charging that much.
Right.
What are you offering? What do you do before you just shoot out the roof?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's just my opinion. And I didn't think you was being argumentative.
Yeah. So I got a question for y'all. How often do y'all go up on y'all prices?
When I feel like it.
I respect that.
Well, at the shop where I was years ago, and we've been at that price.
That was you having that, bro?
Say that one more time.
Having that.
A little bit. I didn't hear you.
I said, we went up at the shop that I work at. They went up on we went up on prices 2 years ago, and we at that price right now.
Right.
And that's why I say it's some things in the works for myself. You know what I'm saying? So.
Shaw said he go up when he feel like it.
Whenever. He might go up tomorrow.
Like it sounds fucked up, but let me make it. If there's something that I'm doing that's disturbing my peace is that's my trigger. That something needs to change. So first, before I go up on my price, I'm gonna try to figure out, is there other tangible reasons that my peace is being disturbed? If I can find those reasons and associate them back to this chair, this has to change.
So give me an example, Shy.
People coming in with bad energy, right? Okay. Because understanding, based on your price point, your net is big, medium, or small.
Right.
The smaller your price point, the bigger your net, right? So you're attracting everybody, everybody from every walk of life. You shrink down that net and you start to alleviate some of the problematic personalities and characteristics in people that you don't really have a space to tolerate.
No doubt.
Shrink that net down again. Again, shrinking is raising your price.
No doubt.
Shrink that net down again, you alleviate more. Don't get me wrong. It's a two-edged sword.
Right.
Yeah.
You might deal with some more fussy and just irritating personalities too.
Right.
But the difference at dealing with that personality in person at a low price versus dealing with people with them personality traits with a high price is at a high price, I can now vocalize to you that's not gonna work.
Right.
You fix it, you gotta go. Because you coming to me spending the price that you're spending for a reason that's very specific to you. If you want to continue for this relationship to flow back and forth, you need to fix what you're doing to stop it.
Right.
And that's
what I mean when I feel like it. When my body and my mind is telling me that I'm undercharging or I'm dealing with too many bad personalities, price going up. Immediately. Price going up.
Price shrinking, huh?
Immediately.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. So what did you, Shy, what did you start off cutting at?
For free.
But like once you started to charge?
$5.
Okay.
Actually, I would say for tips, because I was getting paid $5, 100% of that $5 went to the school, and I was getting tips. So whatever they left me, so it was $3, $4, $5, $10.
Jump down for yourself once you was out of school.
Once I was out of school, I was charging. We had $7 Wednesday. I think it was like $15 for adults and like $10 for kids.
Okay. What about you, Reggie?
Well, when I started, it was about the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, about 15 for, well, it was 20 for adults and 15 for kids, or 12 for kids, some shit like that. But when you talk about that peace thing and making sure that you good, that's where I'm at with it right now. Like I work on walk-ins right now.
Strictly walk-in?
I just now started doing moving. I got a few dates where I do appointments.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because that walk-in stuff is where that, when he say that net is wide and everybody, I'm trying to shrink that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's part of my new me that's about to come. You know what I'm saying? We doing appointments. We raising that price. We working on something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's yeah. I understood that. You know what I'm saying? I understood that.
Right.
Cause look, bro, I worked on walk-ins too. When I first started, I worked on walk-ins for like 2 years.
Okay.
Shy, how long you been cutting, Shy?
I still do walk-ins now. I don't do them all the time. You know what I mean? I don't have as much time to do them as I used to.
Exactly. How long you been cutting?
Huh?
How long you been cutting?
4.5 years now.
You see how that's the good part of social media, because you are able to see and able to get other ideals around, and you are able to move a little bit quicker than me, right?
Right.
I'm in my 10th year right now.
Okay.
You in your 10th year?
I'm in my 10th year right now.
Man, you don't even look old enough to be cutting for 10 years.
Kidding me? I feel like it.
So you feel like it, huh?
Yeah, but I'm in my 10th year, so I mean, it took me the time that it took me.
No.
It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But I'm there now. You know what I mean?
But we've also fallen into, in my opinion, Reg, because I've been cutting for over 20 years. I think this is the golden era of barbering, because for a long time, like, I didn't do it full time. Like, I worked in school, I coached basketball, because I didn't see that ability to make a living without wearing your body out, right?
Yeah.
But now, I've never seen 10 years ago the thought of being able to charge $60, $70, $80 for a haircut, right? That was just something.
That ain't in the cut. That's a Scott.
Nah, that's in the cut, cuz.
That ain't in the cut.
So for me, you know, I don't even look at it. I just think it's all in timing. I think Shaq, with his skill set and his ability to be personable, you know, at the same time, you know, straight line of being stern, I think he hit it at a perfect time.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yep.
And the thing is, hey, Shy, what helped you though What help you is your grind and your ability. Them cuts look like you've been cutting down there 20 some odd years, cuz.
Man, I appreciate that,
Them,
bro.
them cuts, them lines, that them transitions, man. Something else, you hear me?
Yeah.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, he got a great set of hands.
Yeah, yeah. But see, and that's the thing too. When I started cutting 10 years ago, I was still putting in applications for a warehouse. I didn't know what barbering was. You know what I'm saying? I knew I cut hair, but I never cut hair before that. So it wasn't like I was cutting on a porch or nothing like that. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I started it, I was just like, it's something for me to do right now, but I'm gonna eventually get me a job with a 401k
right.
and blah, blah, blah. So not until about 5 years ago did I really start feeling like, oh, this is the wave.
Right.
You know, this is what I need to be doing now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Like, so in the past 5 years, it's been groovy. It's been great. You hear me?
Definitely. But I think too, bro, it's okay. So two things. One is understanding what you're trying to accomplish first, right?
Mm-hmm.
If your accomplishment, we'll say $30. You got some cash on you? Why don't you give me $30? Let me get $30. What you think I'm gonna run off on your money, bro? He petty, bro. He petty, bro.
Hey, I've been asking about barber unions too. I seen somebody ask what I think there should be some way to have something. I know there's it's like the ABB or something like that. I gotta look it up. But there should be a union where we should be able to connect and get some things accomplished a little bit easier than just everybody been mad at everybody online.
But I think too, man. Okay, I'm sorry, I was distracted, bro. I'm back
now. Good, do your thing.
But no, what I was saying though, bro, is you're absolutely right. There has to be some kind of standard, right? I think, and not has to be, but it should at least exist.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only standard in barbering that we have is the expectation that your price should increase at a 12-month pace by $5. That's the only standard I've ever heard in barbering, right?
Right.
And the new trends are changing barbering. I seen Hunt, the barber, post a video earlier today on Facebook talking about the trends in barbering, like how cell phones, social media have changed the way that barbering is done.
Right.
It's less a personable experience and it's more like a digital transaction.
Yeah.
You book, you pay, everything is online. You're not, dealing with a person. You come in at your appointment. You don't have any real relationship with the barber for the most part. You sit down and get your hair cut. Y'all might have a conversation, then you're gone. Right. Whereas before,
tag that
you come in.
Tag that. I'm sorry to cut you off. Tag that or pin that Barbie Pink barber question.
Whereas
I'm sorry.
Before you come in and you have a conversation with the people in the shop, not just the barbers, but you have a conversation with the other clients in the shop.
Right.
You come in the shop on a Friday or Saturday, like you going to right now with the way you're working your shop. Saturdays and Fridays, that shop feel like it's breathing, don't it? It feels like it's breathing. People are connecting and mending and creating relationships inside of that shop.
Right.
So that's where my mindset and perspective goes when I say that your value is a lot higher than what you're charging.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Because what you're offering, the environment that you're offering, because of how you're working the business, is much more valuable than what you're charging.
So what do you say to people who work in suites? That environment is a little bit different.
The environment is a lot more different, but their targeted market is different as well. They're not targeting a market of people who want to come and sit in the shop for any extended period of time.
Right.
The market they're targeting is people who want to get in, get out. They're probably targeting people who've already sustained and built relationships over the course of years with them, right? So it's actually going to be easier for them to go up on their price because it's a very specific market that they target.
Right.
Whereas with what you doing and what I was doing, I'm gonna say we, because I've been there and done that, right? What we were doing is we're creating an environment that's dying in this industry. It's fading away in this industry. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but it's few and far in between. In addition to that, you have barbers in this industry that have no interest in working full 8-hour shifts no more. People really, if you look at the condition of barbers are more willing to work what we used to call swing shifts, where they'll come in, work for 4 hours, leave, and come back and work 2 or 3 more hours.
Absolutely.
Or they work 4 hours one day, 8 hours another day, and 12 hours on the weekend.
Absolutely.
Working like that in those conditions. When you're working like that, you're not in the shop enough to create them relationships. You're not in the shop enough to create that, to add to that environment, right?
Yeah.
So I think going back to what I was saying, right? Creating some type of standard, right, of barbering help with people coming into the industry, because you create a standard. You put up a template of what's expected of you. Like when you come out of barber school and you go into a shop that's been established for years, they have a standard. There's a template of what you have to be to function in that shop. You go in that shop, you either add to it within the frame of that template, or they're going to get your ass right up out of there because you don't fit. You're disruptive to what they're trying to accomplish. In my opinion, part of the template, I would highly recommend anybody who's coming out of school or you're looking for an apprenticeship, don't go straight into a barbershop. Go into somewhere where you can work commission. Work commission. Work somewhere where people are going to train you on how to be a professional barber. Go somewhere where people are going to teach you how to communicate, how to talk amongst other barbers, how to present yourself in a professional establishment. Go somewhere where they're going to teach you how to understand what the value of your money is, because a lot of people out here cutting hair, whether they charge $20 or $2,500 a cut, and still don't know what a dollar is worth. They have no idea how to use the money. They have no idea how to save it, no idea how to do any of that. You go into somewhere that's a commission-based situation, or where they set up standards for you, a standard operating process for you. They're going to train you on how to be more efficient than anybody that's not willing to work it as a professional business. Your mindset is going to be different.
If you had to change it all over again, would you go that route yourself?
If I could go back to school, my right hand of Jesus Christ, I've had this conversation with my wife. If I could go back to school tomorrow and get my license, I would go straight to sports clips.
What about you?
Or if it was a commission-based shop brand that was more fitting to me than a sports clip, I wouldn't just settle at a sports clip.
Okay, because I was about to say, so now that, I mean, that takes away my question because you said sports clips, right? Because I was about to say, in a place like a sports clips and stuff like that, the cuts are different. So when you fresh out, you need to be around somebody who can cut.
And that's a misconception too. The cuts are different in a sports clips, and then what's the other one, bro? It's another real big one, sports clip, and it's another one. They like commercialized big commission-based barbershops, right?
Yeah,
they're businesses that cut hair. They're not barbershops, right? Okay. The reason I say I wouldn't settle at a sports clips or damn, I can't think of the name of the other one, but anyway, is because they're not necessarily there to teach barbers or stylists how to cut great clips, how to cut hair.
Okay.
Thank you, Reggie the Barber. They're there. Supercuts is another one. They're there to teach stylists and barbers how to function in the barbering industry. If you go in any sports clips, here's a challenge.
I see that different though. I see that different.
Okay. And I'll
Yeah.
challenge anybody on this live, go into a Great Clips, Sport Clips, or Supercuts, and talk to somebody who's been working in that business function for at least 3 years. Take them into any shop. I guarantee you, if you give them 6 months where they cuts can match the cuts going on in the shop, and they add all of that, I would call it training that they've received at Sports Clips, they gonna be the busiest barber in that shop. Easy, because they're gonna be so uniquely different. There's no standard in most barbershops you go into. You go into any barbershop anywhere in any city, it's gonna be different but very similar in every shop because don't nobody have a standard. Don't nobody have standards and expectations.
But I also think, and I get what you're saying, but I think that can also happen for somebody who has been in a work environment and you know, who's worked maybe in a corporate environment or something, and then transitions into barbering. For myself, being in an administrative position, working in a school district, a lot of those things, just business-wise and how to run a business day to day and the professionalism and just the etiquette, were able to transition. I do agree. I think you have to find a shop that's beneficial for what it is you need, because you can definitely learn bad habits. But I agree with Reggie on one hand too. Where does it put you on the versatility of the haircuts and the, you know, just at what rate are you cutting? Because the cuts are definitely, they're getting you in, getting you out. You know, they sell more products, you know, probably than.
And this is why I say it's in my opinion, again, let me just keep reiterating that this is all my opinion. This is why I say, in my opinion, it's a much better path to go commission-based than it is to go blueprint right out of school. Because you may not receive, and we're talking specifically on big brand commission-based shops. Because you go a lot of places, they got commission-based shops that cut better than your blueprint shop all day long. You go places like New York, Jersey, Philadelphia, they got commission-based shops that they chopping. But anyway, the benefit is they may not be there to teach you how to do anything more than what you learned in school. Just kind of polish up on a little bit of what your foundation is and teach you how to operate at a function where you can bang haircuts out every 30 minutes. You can keep your chair rotating, but in a professional manner. Here's the difference though. You can learn how to become efficient cutting hair by just shadowing somebody. You could take classes. There's every big name barber I know that's really good offer classes and courses where you can learn how to cut hair at that pace. Even if you work at a commission-based shop 3/4 of the time or part-time, you can work there 3/4 of the time part-time, and you can still cut on your own time as long as you got your license. You can have the best of both worlds if you want. You can go and work 4 to 5 hours in a commission-based shop and then go work 4 hours at another shop just long enough to get your cuts up to a standard that nobody else is doing around you. Then you can go and try to get full-time at a commission-based shop and you're going to make money.
Do you know,
or
you know anybody that's taking that route?
Personally, no, I don't. I don't know too many people that I take it back. I know a lady, she's on Instagram. Her name is Yasmin.
Okay.
Yasmin worked through, I don't know if it was Sports Clips or Supercuts, but she worked through from coming in as a barber all the way up to management. And when she's now managing her own shop, her own business.
Okay.
When you sit down and talk to her, her mindset way different.
Right.
Way different. And she'll tell you a lot of that she attributes to working in that situation, working in that kind of environment. Because it's just things they're not gonna let fly. They're not gonna let it happen. You can't come in there with your pants hanging off your ass. You can't come in there ungroomed. You can't come in there unkept. Your conversation has to be within it's just like working when you go to work a traditional job. When you go work a job, a corporate job, or you go and work somewhere that has a union or something like that, you say what you want when you talking around the water cooler. But even at the water cooler, you got to be a little cautious on what you say and who you say it to. Because it could put you in a bad situation. I think barbering is that's another reason why people look at this from the outside as it's just a hustle. When you tell people you're a barber, a lot of people, especially us, give you this look like, oh, you a barber? Okay, cool. And it's nothing more than that. But only a barber or a stylist understand that to tell somebody that I'm a barber, that's letting you know that I'm a networking person. I'm a professional in socializing. I'm a professional in understanding problems. I'm a professional in problem solving. I can see, understand, and negotiate situations. I know how to watch environment, and I know how to take whatever energy you give me and dissipate it back into the universe without you bothering me. I learned all that from behind this chair. When I was working in corporate America, I wasn't learning none of that. I was going home stressed, wanting to kick the dog. So when people look at barbering as you just a barber, you just hustle, that all comes because there's no standard. Nobody is enforcing a standard of how you need to be in a barbershop, how you need to be as a barber. It starts
and not universally, and that's where I think, like you, Reggie, you talked about the possibility of a union, but I do think there are pockets that you can find what's needed.
And I think that's where I'm like, because where I started at, we got the no cussing signs up. You get what I'm saying? We got the, hey, women and children, what y'all want to watch on TV? We speak a certain way. We are a hood barbershop, but we don't carry ourselves like the hood barbershop. So that's why I'm not on the go to a sports clubs or anything like that, because those are not the environment. Now, if that's the environment you feel comfortable in, that's not the environment I would have been in. That's not the barbershop I grew up in. So I wouldn't even thought about making that run to go to a commission. Now, there are commission shops around here that's not a big chain.
Right.
So maybe that would have helped, especially building up clientele. But as far as, I mean, we work in barbershops now where we get people that come from those big chains and say, hey, they didn't cut my, you know what I mean? Or they didn't do that to me. So when I was saying earlier about hovering over somebody who can cut, that's what I'm talking about, being in our environment.
Right.
Let me be around my people. Let me see how I learned a lot. I didn't learn nothing in barber school.
Me neither.
I
I
agree.
learned everything from watching the OGs at the shop that I work at.
Yep.
Which is why it's so hard for me to even think about leaving that shop, which I know is coming, but I learned so much how to carry myself in a barbershop from those niggas from the barbershop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why, I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm on the other side of it, but I understand what you know what I mean, what you're getting at, because you walk into some shops, it's a little different. You know what I mean? So.
And it's supposed to be a difference in opinion on a topic like that. I think because is one that's not, the biggest thing is two big things. One is what you said, how you were raised around barbershops.
Right.
What you're able to identify with is what you were around, right? You were around those type of shops. So that makes sense to you. It's just like when you go in your grandmama's house. It's like when you go in anybody's grandmama's house, or you go into a soul food restaurant and it's decorated like somebody's grandmama's house. You don't know how the food gonna be, but when you go in there, you're comfortable because it feels familiar. That's the same thing with barbershops, right? If you go in there and it looks a certain way, the talk is a certain way, the smells are a certain way, it's familiar, it's comfortable. But I challenge anybody this. Take what's familiar and challenge it with what you're unexposed to. Just because something wasn't presented to us doesn't mean that it can't exist in a space that's orchestrated by us.
So again, I get that. So going to a sport, I guess those are the names, and those are the shops or the businesses that's throwing it off for me.
Yeah, you getting hung
you know
up
what I'm saying?
on sports
Because there are commission shops around here that are not them that maybe you can get that standard from.
Right.
That actually is the environment that we're used to, but they're commission shops. So I think the business names is throwing me off because they, first off, I think they're not even commissioned. Some of them are like hourly. You get what I'm saying? I think I don't even think some of them, I don't know which one, but I don't. It's like one where you can't even have a barber license, so you can't even go
use
there.
and things of that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
because some of them are just businesses where you come get your hair cut.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, but I like I said, I get what you're saying. I'm just on the other. I think a course of that. I think you should go work at one for 6 months and see if that would be good, because preaching it sounds good, but without any experience, it's kind of, you get what I'm saying? Because you carry yourself very well. You talk very well. You cut very well.
Right.
But you learned that in a shop.
No, I did not.
So,
I did not. The first shop I went in, without saying anything ill of him, because he taught me a lot about business.
okay.
Not teach me a lot about haircuts.
What I'm saying is you didn't start out at a commission shop.
Right. Because I never knew it was an option.
But sometimes you can learn things based on your experience of what not to do, what then enhances what it is.
Absolutely.
You absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for me, back in the day, I grew up in a barbershop. My uncle was a barber. Him and his friends, they owned the barbershop, 2 of them. They ended up buying the building. They only cut on commission. Then when I became a teenager, you had another dude that I'm cool with who opened the barbershop, and that was more the hood barbershop. So growing up in the barbershop with the older guys where my uncle was at, you learn, how to conduct yourself. And then when you got a little older, it was more hip and the music and whatnot. But he was one of the first individuals that we interviewed. And he's still, for me, somebody that I can, physically go sit down and talk to. He's the last living person from that barbershop, but he still has all his scruples and, has a lot of, resources and a lot of knowledge. And, he came up during the days when they had barber unions. And so if you get a chance, go back and it's on YouTube. Should I go back and listen to that interview? His name is Joe Taylor. Older guy, he's in his 80s. So I definitely get what you're saying. I know a lot
for sure.
I know women around here who went to cosmetology school because we haven't had barber schools here in over 30 years. They're just 2 that just opened. Shout out to my barber brother Carlos Harvey. He just got his off the ground, so I'm happy for that because we need him. And he went to cosmetology school. So a lot of these guys here, maybe he'll be able to give something different because cosmetology school works so much different than the way barber school didn't get anything out of it. Where the dudes I'm cool with from here, I traveled. The rest of them went to cosmetology school where you had an hour of theory and you had to learn roller sets and manicures and pedicures. It was a lot of book work. And you may be able to provide something different. But I think, and somebody put it on here, they talked about the services and they learned how to,
upsell. Yes.
From my understanding, at least around here, like Sports Clips, everything is about quantity and not quality. Let's sell products. Let's get these heads in the chair and move them out as fast as we can because it's a chain and we're trying to make money. And that's always been my understanding. I'm sure
only in certain shops. Again, like Reggie was saying, I think y'all getting hung up on the name. I'm just using Sports Clips, Supercuts, and all that stuff because it's the most recognizable commission-based situation.
So basically just commission in general, or are you saying more so than
structure? I'm talking about structure. Commission-based shops traditionally have more structure than booth.
Okay.
So that's the word we need to focus on, the structure.
The structure, yeah, that's
the structure.
And it's funny. It's funny you said go and work at one. My right hand to Jesus Christ. Asha, I think I told you about this. I know I told my wife about it. After talking to my homegirl I told you about, Yasmin, I was so intrigued with her mindset that stayed on me. It burned, it seared in my memory. It stayed on me for months. Maybe, I want to say maybe 4 months ago. There's a Supercuts next to the place where I went and got my shirts, and I get my shirts and stuff from Burlington Coat Factory.
Okay.
I'm going, it's one of the mornings, I'm gonna drop my daughter off. I got some time, I'm gonna go shoot the Burlington. And I looked over there and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go in there and see if they offer any kind of apprenticeship programs or anything that I can get in the door and learn directly from their managers, so that I can see how they operate their business. Not just from the perspective of a barber, but from the perspective of a business owner that understands that I've never owned a business before. So all this is new, right? Okay. If I can align myself in a situation where I can learn from a successful brand on how they're managing, operating their business, managing the day-to-day tasks and situation to situations, how they're training, what's their standard of training, why they're training that way, specifics about back of house stuff, how are they running their paperwork, how are they organizing their books so that they can continue to franchise this business, what's the it versus the what I have, right? I went in there and I asked the manager, talked to her, asked if they had anything, introduced myself as a new licensed barber, and the lady told me, first, when I came in there and told her I had my license, she was perplexed all over her face, like, why are you in here? Two, I think it's because of this, but because I had a license and this, it was like, why are you in here? And then she got intrigued because of the questions I started asking her. Well, you know, I think the way y'all handle business on a professional level stands to serve me some value if I can learn it. So I want to learn it. And she told me I could come in and talk to their manager who's about to open another one, and I could come in and work. And, you know, it's kind of like the whole, you work on the floor and then you work your way up. The only reason, Reggie, I haven't taken them up and all this time has went by is because with everything I got going on with the shop, with the podcast, and with home, I don't have time to work 2 jobs. But if I did, my right hand to Jesus Christ, bro, when I tell you I have a obsessive personality, I would go and work that job for a year just to align myself to see what are they doing that I'm not doing. What are they doing that the shops around me aren't doing?
Let me ask you this. What is one of your end goals in barbering? Are you looking to chain? Are you looking to open up a shop? Are you looking to be one of the ones that, in my city I got 7 shops?
No.
No. Okay.
That, to me, that's not an impact. That's just an impact on my life. What I'm trying to do is I want to impact the standard of this industry, because if we continue to let it be watered down by no standards, and no standards that people are holding each other accountable for, it's going to continue to be the slowest elevating industry in the world. Think about it in the sense of the cost of living. Do you think that barbering has caught up with the cost of living yet?
Absolutely, I do.
Food haven't caught up with the cost of living. There are hourly jobs that haven't caught up with the cost of living. But as far as barbering, yes.
That's what.
I think in certain places with barbers it have, but I'm talking about across the board. Doctors continue to increase with the cost of living. When you go to the grocery store, it don't matter if you go to the grocery store here or where y'all at, it's increasing with the cost of living. Barbering is not that.
You don't think
it increases in certain places with certain people?
So based on the information, we're all in different locales. And this will be good for us in terms of a conversation. So keep this on your mind. When we go to CT, one thing, once we chop it up with everybody, let's just get some information just for the podcast, what people are charging. You know what I'm saying? Because I would just like to know, because I think bringing back this would be a great, continuing conversation. But just based on what you guys know, what do you think the typical, just across the board, based on what you know, would be the average cost of a haircut in the barbershop?
$45.
Like our, huh?
$45 to $50.
So you don't think that, you don't think $45 to $50, the average job with a degree, Shy, you can't go get $45, $50, you know what I'm saying? In you know, I mean, you doing good at $25 to $30 an hour with a degree.
Here's why I think that, because barbering is unique in the sense that you can't go get that job for anything more or less until you go to the barbershop.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
If you go into a job where they're gonna where they're gonna pay you anywhere, so $40-$50 comes out to about what, $70,000-$80,000 a year, $65,000-$70,000 a year, right?
What's that?
If you're making between $40 to $50 an hour.
No, that's a little higher.
That's a little bit more than that.
At 8 hours, no, it's I would say between $75,000-$80,000 a year, maybe 95, right? Let's just put it at 95.
Okay.
Right? And
Okay.
$95,000 a year. Any job, whatever job, right? They paying you $95,000 a year. Do you think that's a job that you can do and you not be groomed?
Say that again.
Do you think that that's a job that you can maintain? You can keep that job and not be groomed?
No, I think it's necessary for all jobs to groom to reach that height. But I definitely think that we're in an era where people are eating and definitely making that kind of money. May not be on the books, but when you go across the board and you say, you know, on an average 45 to 50 in terms of the cost of living, I mean, it is like my son is here. He you know, I mean, he makes damn good money in comparison. I mean, hell, the teachers, I mean, everybody. I left the job, you know what I'm saying, at damn near 70 and didn't skip a beat. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Again, y'all missing the point. I'm not saying that barbering isn't providing or is not a growing industry. What I'm saying is, in the sense of the cost of living, mm-hmm. in the sense of standards and being able to have a expectation mm-hmm. of what you're going to pay for a haircut, mm-hmm. what you're going to pay in a barbershop across the globe. There is no.
Well, also, you get in a difference of cost of living per state.
That I can't subscribe to that because it don't.
You can't subscribe to a different cost of living.
No, I can't, because in my opinion, this is just my opinion. Mm-hmm. I grew up on the south side of Chicago, bro, in the fucking mud on the south side of Chicago, 113th mm-hmm. between Princeton and mm-hmm. The average cost of living over there is below $20,000 to $30,000 a year. Below. Mm-hmm. That's the average cost of living.
Okay.
Food stamps, WIC, and link cards are things that are standards in this neighborhood.
Okay.
I myself have walked to the store with the blue link card to buy shit, cigarettes and shit for my auntie. But I had Jordans. Everybody in that neighborhood had Jordans.
Different conversation.
Hold on, I'm. It's the same conversation to me because the cost of living is what it is. But people afford to pay for things that they want, right?
So what people want is different than cost of living.
I'm thinking of rent. I'm thinking of groceries. I'm thinking of gas. I'm thinking of your day-to-day necessity, not things that you choose to buy. But like if where y'all at, you know, what's the medium income price to buy a three bedroom, 2-bathroom home? Where you're at?
That I don't know.
About maybe $450 in a bad neighborhood.
So $450. So me being in Champaign right now, the median price, you can go get a 3 and 2 for about $250. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So like the house that I live in, before we've been in here 8 years, before everything started hitting sky high, we're over 1,600 square feet, 2-car garage, 2 decks, 143. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way you can go to a decent neighborhood in Chicago and get anything for 143, even 7-8 years ago.
But see, and that's why I say the cost of living is different.
Absolutely.
New York 1-bedroom apartments is $2,000, $2,500 a month.
Right.
that's not the same in Knoxville.
Right.
Yeah.
Our cost of living is a little bit lower than it is in Manhattan.
So what y'all saying is the cost of living based on wherever somebody is, their cost of living, whether it's, you know, higher or lower, determines what the barber should be able to charge in that area.
No, I'm not saying that. I think the quality of the individual, but what I'm saying is a person can charge where I am $30 a head and maintain, if they're working 8 hours, they're good quality, they can maintain a decent standard of living. If you take that same $30 a head and you move to California, shit, you're going to starve. You might be on Skid Row.
That's different.
That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying now, because when you say
that, go ahead. I'm sorry.
When
go
you
ahead.
say that the price should be determined based on the cost of living, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's not what that's not even close. What he just said proves my point. Because barbers are pricing themselves according to the cost of living and not a barbering business standard, that's why you can't move from a place that's $30,000 and you can float to California and not be able to survive. Because the standard of what you should be charging as a barber fluctuates so much when it shouldn't. What you're doing in California is no different than what you're doing in Champaign.
Right, but Shy, if you take your skill set right now and you move to California, you're going to be fine.
Most barbers, you think that all the barbers in California top it? There's some dookie barbers out there, bro.
No, I'm talking about specifically. You know what I'm saying? You can go make a living in California. Every barber can't, right?
So Shy, how much do you charge?
60.
Why don't you charge more?
Because I just got to 60.
So what's when you said earlier, you said you change your prices whenever you feel like it. When do you feel like how you saying it is pretty much so across the board, across America, what's the price? What should be the price for a haircut?
Between
just a haircut. I'm talking about somebody come in, they don't want the enhanced.
Yeah, they just want the
haircut.
Give me
a two all around.
$40 to $50.
I think that's average though, right?
I think we speaking about the same. I think we going in the circle, but I think that's pretty much. I mean, you might have other people that's charging $15, $20, but I mean, and you was talking about the sports clips and stuff. They don't charge $30, $40
because no one's changed it. That's what I'm saying. No one's expanded beyond the standard, bro. Everybody is. Let me ask you this, and just if you don't agree, cool. Does it not feel like in barbering there's all these different it's not no gelling in barbering, bro. It's the black side, the white side, the Hispanic side, the commission side,
that's in everything.
Side. It's the enhancement side, the non-enhancement side. But everybody in this industry doing all this shit, but ain't nobody got there's no baseline of standard nowhere in this industry. It doesn't make any sense.
And I understand what
or am I tripping?
And no, I agree with what you're saying. But I think what makes that difficult is because they're not unions and so many, like we talked about it so many times, the independent contractor. And I think that's what makes a lot of people attracted to the thought. Like if you go and you go to sports clips or somewhere, you know, like sports clips, maybe, you know, and I don't even know because I've never dealt with commission and it's just something I wouldn't be interested in. But at the end of the day, like you go here, they get paid hourly, but their prices are set. The person who may be ill with it, get them out fastest, you know, most efficient, they're still on an hourly basis. They can't set their prices.
So let me ask y'all, both of y'all say that y'all not interested in commission at all, right?
No, I'm not cutting as a barber.
Not as a barber, as a shop owner, yeah.
Well, as a barber, I'm talking about as a barber,
no,
y'all not interested.
I'm not.
Now, let me ask you a question. From that mindset, if there was a shop, if there was a business that existed, and let's just say both of y'all are barbers, y'all established or whatever the case may be, right? There was a place that offered commission. It was a commission-based situation, rather 50-50, 60-40, whatever it is, it's commission. There was opportunities for you to, when you come in, they market you, market the place, they market you specifically, right? They have barbers in that place that are the trending barbers, that are the everybody want to cut like barbers, right? You have that what you said you get in a hood shop, you have that in a commission-based shop, right? And their jobs aren't to just cut in this shop and you watch them, but their jobs are specifically to train you to that standard, so that every cut that walks out the door is identical, right? In addition to that, they offer you a 401k, they offer you insurance, they offer you the opportunity to manage your schedule where you're not forking over 90% of your time working, but they offer you a situation where you're able to work a traditional 9 to 5 or 9 to 4 situation and have your time, your peace of mind. They force you to take breaks, right? Because I think that's the biggest problem in barbering, as far as scheduled breaks, scheduled days off, scheduled time off. You get all that, and it's in a commission-based program that wouldn't have no interest to you at all.
Not to me.
No, and not to me, only because of this. And it does sound interesting, right? But the environment in which I left, right? All these things, I wasn't cutting hair, but everything that you named was there. And it took away my freedom. You know what I mean? I just felt like, I was being used. They didn't care about me, the individual, only what I could put out. And so for me, that's not how I deal with people. That's not the type of person. So it was extremely difficult. I'm the type I would rather be able to sell T-shirts for a living and make $30,000 than work for somebody and make $60,000. Just because of my personal experiences that I went through, right? So once I learned that, man, this barber era is going a different direction than I thought it could, because I started off cutting for $5, then it went to $7, then you're 10, and you're 12. You know what I mean? So you're thinking back then, $5, like, it's cool to have some pocket change, but I got 6 kids. I can't feed kids on that money. So that was so it forced me. I went and got my degree and all those, and the unhappiness that I went through and some issues I went through is just, I totally get what you're saying, but at this point in my life, at my age, it's something that wouldn't interest me at this stage.
I think that shop sounds amazing to a newer barber.
Right. And yeah, go ahead.
That is fine, but to everything is situational. You know what I'm saying? So I became a barber just like, Asha saying, I became a barber to be my own. I'm not working for nobody. And I understand that having the insurance and all. My wife does insurance and all. So we get that situated in the house. You get what I'm saying? So the commission to me just takes away from being your own. Now you're just an employee for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, they make your schedule. They tell you when to take a break. That takes away from me personally. It takes away from me being a barber. On this busy Saturday, I might not want to take a break.
Right.
I might want to go all day long. You get what I'm saying? And then I don't want you messing with my taxes. Let me handle my taxes. Now, if you talking about, that's something that should be helped and talked about. The taxes as an entrepreneur, stuff like that. But I think that commission or working at a hourly spot or doing that, for me personally, just takes away from me being my own boss, and, quote unquote.
I respect that from both of y'all 1,000%, because both of y'all are absolutely right. It's a very individual to individual situation.
Of course.
The person that it fits, and the person that doesn't, they're going to stay away from it.
Right.
When I first came into barbering, my perspective and my understanding of commission-based shops and how they function was 1,000% fuck no, I'm not going in that direction because I don't want nobody to limit what I can do. I don't want nobody to, none of that. I've worked my whole life, so I wasn't willing to go back into a working situation. I walked away from work to purchase my time back. I get it. But the more I started to research it and talk to people and get the information that I didn't have about the benefits and not just the things that I didn't like about commission structured businesses, it started to make more sense that, like you said, and this is my big picture, right? This is what I've been trying to get to this whole time. This is my big picture. The schools, in a big majority, aren't properly preparing barbers and stylists entering.
That's where it starts at.
Let me tell you. Let me just paint this whole shit. Roll with me on this one, right? The schools, in a big majority, aren't properly preparing people to enter the industry outside of knowing the literature, right? And in a lot of cases, they're failing at that too, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is you have these hungry, determined, ready to go 100 miles an hour in whatever direction success looks like it's in. And they go into situations that they bouncing and they bouncing and they bouncing and they bouncing, or they're hitting the ceiling in the first few years because they fell into that rut of getting into a shop that there's nothing presented for them to grow from and learn from. It's then burned them out on wanting to be a barber or a stylist altogether, right?
Right.
Here's where I think, in my opinion, again, a shop like that at a commission base fits perfectly to bridge that gap. Because you coming out of school with a very baseline understanding of what barbering is, in a lot of cases you're ill prepared. Okay. Well, if you go from that school into a shop that could prepare you for what it looks like to be in an operating shop, that could put you in the hands of barbers who function at a level that's in unison with other shops outside that's charging buffering as far as like quality of cut. But they also preparing you on, like you said, understanding your taxes, understanding how to be an independent contractor, understanding what it means to be there every day on time, what it means to be there and take a break consistently at the same time, or as consistent as possible, because the biggest way to be successful in your life is to have a plan and consistency in what you're doing. When you don't have a plan and there's no consistency, you just move whenever you feel like you need to move. In a lot of cases, if you look back, you've wasted an abundance of time because you never had a system in place. If you create that bridge between school and what the barbering world is now, what eventually, and this is in my fucked up, twisted mind, the way I think things will start to trend is those people who are being prepared at that middle ground, once they get into these shops and they see that it's not functioning the way that they are accustomed to from where they came from, they'll start opening shops. And their shops will start running at the function of what they learned in that commission-based shop. Now you start to change the standard of what the shops have to operate with in order to stay in business with that competitor. You change the standard, now you can change the expected rate of what barbers are going to play, because people are changing the standard of what to expect inside of a barbershop.
So I got two questions. One, do you guys think, because this is good shit, right? Just this whole conversation, is this something that trade shows and barber shows on the education side could expound on more to help kind of bridge a gap, first and foremost? That's the first question. The second question is, I don't know about in you guys' state, but how do you guys think barber apprenticeships versus barber colleges, because we all agree, and somebody else even put on here that they didn't agree, they agreed that barber school didn't teach them anything. Yeah. What do you guys think about barber apprenticeships versus, because we don't have that in Illinois. So I don't know if you guys have any knowledge.
The thing with apprenticeship would go again against what Shy is saying, because you might have an apprenticeship in one of those shops that's not fully structured. You know what I'm saying? Now, I wish in Tennessee they did do apprenticeship. You get what I'm saying? I feel like I know some good barbers around here that can give that great structure. But then it just goes against what Shy is saying. You get what I'm saying? So if you do
but I guess one thing, Reg, and not to cut you off, but if we're not getting it from the barber colleges, like we've all agreed, like, you know, to be able to have a choice between other, because like you said, there's some good barbers out there, you know, and then you may have choices where in certain areas you're limited, right, in terms of barber colleges. So like with me being in Champaign at the time that I went, you had two choices. Either you could travel all the way to Chicago or you could go to Peoria. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so Peoria, it was closer and it was cheaper. So just having the potential. But again, we had some old school barbers who had been doing it for years, who had that structure, was commission based, you know, been working in shops most of their lives, that, you know, maybe being an apprentice up under them would have been, you know, something solid and maybe gotten more. So just your thought, you guys' thoughts.
I think it's a place for both, honestly. It in my opinion, I think as of the way the industry is now, schools versus apprenticeships, I think that the right apprenticeship under the right barber, the right mentor is far more fruitful than school. But the problem is the way that it's structured, at least here in Tennessee, you can't go to an apprenticeship unless you're enrolled in school. It's not to just go to a barbershop, get with an apprentice and clock your hours through him because he's a master barber and had his license for 10 years. You still have to be enrolled in school. You still need a minimum, I think it's like either 500 or 700 hours before you can even go to an apprenticeship.
Okay.
Right? I think it's a place for them both to exist, though. But like Reggie said, if you don't have the presence of mind to cautiously pick who you align yourself with, just like if you don't have the presence of mind to cautiously pick what shop you decide to go and pursue your career in, you still could be putting yourself in a bad situation. Because I've seen apprentices who they're there to be apprentice, but they ain't teaching the apprentice nothing.
Right.
I've seen apprentices who are there teaching the apprentice, but they're teaching them bad habits.
Right.
I mean, it's there is no way to make it perfect. But when you ask me what my goal is ultimately to use what barbering has opened the doors and provided for me to change something, not even change, to encourage some shift in direction in the standards or lack thereof in the industry, no matter how small it is or how big it may be. My goal, and I'm standing on that, I'm dying on that hill, bro.
Okay. I respect that.
That's because what makes me feel that way is I often, every time I meet somebody that's new, or every time a new barber inbox me on Instagram, they ask me the same questions. And every time they ask me them questions, I think back to my barber student experience. And I'll be like, damn, this shit ain't it's the same.
Right.
Everything I went through, they're going through.
Right. Let me say this, and then let's answer Barbie Pink Barber's question.
Yeah, because y'all don't make me miss cops.
You just almost tried to kill me.
I said I had a few minutes.
So
hey, I'm not messing with the vape when Reggie on the line. Come on,
with social media. so with social media, right? And I ain't bashing young barbers because their movement is awesome, right? And what they're doing, and like I said, in a golden age, and I think we have options. creating that standard when all these young barbers are seeing so much that's going on social media. And we're talking about the pricing, we're talking about the suites and the independent contractor and all this. How can we really create, as much as it's necessary? Do you agree it makes it harder to create that standard with the wave that's going now? Because people are learning more watching other barbers, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, watching other barbers in a social media sense.
My heart is telling me that no, it doesn't make it different or harder to create that or make that change, because all those things you mentioned weren't standards until they became that. Somebody had to encourage those things to become standards. Somebody had to influence those things to become norms.
But easy always is attractive. That's what makes it, you know, it's the microwave era. So when they see,
it's always attractive to lazy people, though. Easy isn't always attractive to people who
dig this. And I agree, but the average person, if you give them two paths, the average person will take the least path of resistance. That's human nature.
It is, and I have no agenda to battle with that, right? Because what I'm talking about.
No, but I'm just asking, just you know, just if y'all thought, you know, with that, would it be easier? And
no,
Reggie,
I don't think none of it is easy. Hell no, absolutely not. It's, I mean, the hardest thing to do is the mindset of a person.
Do you think it'd be harder to?
I think it makes it harder, but I understand that there should be something put in place. But me personally, with so many new people jumping into it, for whatever reason they're jumping into it, it does make it harder across the board. Like, and not to go to the what was I gonna say? Not to go to the cost of living, but you would have to start state by state, no matter what. Like, you know, one state have to get it in order first before another. You get what I'm saying? I don't think it'll be a quick flush across the board. No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
It's gonna be an uphill battle no matter what it is.
Right.
It's gonna be an uphill battle. But I think that, just like you said with those things, man, the suites, the appointments, the booking apps, being present on social media, creating content, all that stuff exists, and it didn't exist before, but it's part of the norm now. Right. What's the name said all the time? Oh my God, Tijuana Jackson said all the time, bro, I'm gonna get that shit tattooed on me somewhere. Mm-hmm. It don't matter what you try to do or what you offer that's different, whether it's encouragement, advice, or physical ability to change something. It's only medicine if they take it. It's only medicine if they take it. You can put all, it's books on how to be this and do that and gain this, and people will read it. People will buy them and never read them. Right. People will watch 1,000 videos and never apply what they shit. Reggie, every single week, Reggie get on social media and give out free game. Right. Every fucking day. I watch this man get on social media and give out free game about clippers, haircuts, how to do this, how to do that. I watched him put a whole video together on how to be a social media barber. Right. How many people you think watched that video and then just went to the next video? They didn't apply nothing he taught.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's only medicine if they take it, bro. And that's what's going to be the difference maker. The people who choose easy,
right,
you're not going to take the medicine.
Right.
The people who trying to do something different, people who trying to advance and not walk through the minefield that the predecessors did, right, they going to take that other road, because although it may only lead me back to this, right, at least I have the presence of mind of saying that I went the road less traveled, and I learned something. Even in your failures, you learn something.
Right, no doubt.
Right. You learn something.
So for those who join us. This is the I Cut My Way Out podcast. We have Shad, the barber out of Murfreesboro. We have Cuts by Reggie out of Knoxville, Tennessee, and I'm Oscar Barber out of Champaign, Illinois. We appreciate you guys. With that being said, just transitioning, because I know Barbie Pink Barber, she on here every week. So she had put a question and just wanted to get you guys' feedback. It says, question for y'all, do you use enhancements? I never use them, but I've been thinking about it. I just don't want people to think I'm hiding stuff.
I use them.
Yeah,
I use them, and at first I had that same thought process. At first I was like, nah, I'm a barber. I know how to cut. I don't need them, which is fine. If you don't use them, that's fine. But once you start getting enough people coming in there asking for them and all that, you know, if people think you covering up something, post a, and it don't even matter.
Right.
You can have the cleanest natural cut on your Instagram and walking around the city, ain't nobody gonna say nothing.
Right.
But as soon as you post up an enhancement cut, oh, you painted them up. Oh, you can't cut natural hair. So if your clients I say if you have enough people asking for it, use it. Learn to use it and have it in your arsenal just in case.
And it raises the ticket.
And it raises that price.
Also, I would say, especially for Pink Barber, I've watched a lot of your content. From what I've observed from your content, you already have a solid enough foundation that enhancements won't do anything but enhance your cut.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's a good one.
When I first started doing advanced enhancements, the way that I kind of leveraged that feeling of people feeling like I'm hiding their cuts and stuff is once do your foundation, do your cut that you do, turn your ass around and show it to them.
And let them see it.
Would you like
let them see it?
Enhance this? Because to me it looked good, but if you want enhancement, I think it'll look better.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then you enhance it and let them know, rest their apprehension on it. When you wash this enhancement out or it comes out, the cut that I showed you is what's underneath it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't recommend shorting yourself in no way. And then again,
You kind of
Megatron, what you say, bro? Your phone breaking up.
We couldn't hear you, Reg.
My bad. I ain't even say nothing. I couldn't hear y'all for a second.
Well, yeah, when you I would say this, right? Don't be afraid to add something worth value to your repertoire of what you're capable of offering. Right? As a barber, stylist, all that. If it's an opportunity that you can expand your resume, even if you don't use it all the time, why not have the capability?
You just got it there just in case. And then if nobody asks for it, that one day somebody does, you got it in your back pocket.
You there.
That's it.
You there.
That's it.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of enhancements or of like being able to style a topic. You could do like real good crops or you could do real good feathering. Those things are those are assets as a barber. Those are assets. Those things that everybody can't do because social media have you believe that everybody can use enhancements. But let me tell you, that is a lie.
That is a lie.
Social media have you believe that everybody know how to use them shears and make it cut perfect. Right. That's another lie. Everybody can't do it.
No.
If you become the barber who can efficiently wield those things,
right.
Let me tell you something. I didn't get my price point just doing fades.
Right.
Right. And I'm still adding to it. Right now, I ain't told nobody about it, but I'm going to Atlanta next month to take a class to add something else.
You going to get up with
I'm adding something else. You hear me?
Look, he done snuck away. Ain't told me nothing.
Bro, I ain't told nobody, bro. I wasn't even gonna say it on this live, but because we got Reggie on here, and he just threw me up in the air like, "No, you gotta stand on that shit you've been talking, bro." I'm taking another. in another class. I'm addicted to understanding where I am and trying to figure out what I need to do to get to where I want to be.
No doubt.
That's my whole approach to this, to barbering, to life, period.
Right.
Where am I now? What do I need to do to get where I see myself in 5 years? What can I do right now to like that efficiently?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do, bro.
No doubt. So you going to see Israel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And y'all finna get tired of me, bro, because I'm finna flood social media.
I'm gonna tell you another one. You learn them man weaves, you get an extra couple bucks too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just
throwing it. Get out my head.
Throwing it out there.
Get out my head. Bro, I'm trying to take. You remember when the Ninja Turtles used to take the whole pizza, bro? And put that. I'm trying to put it all together, my boy.
I'm with you on that, though. I'm with you on that.
Listen, ain't nobody gonna be. Listen, bro. You gonna get tired of my. I'm telling you, y'all. I'm giving social media a break right now, but I'm finna lose a lot of followers. People, I'm tired of this dude, bro. Every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, I'm excited. Next week, you said Reggie, you said it, man. The CT then jumped on us. And I gotta before you got on here, I was telling Shy, Jay Majors had put up something basically saying people in the States were reposting and things. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna shoot him one because every week we've been mentioning the CT.
Yeah.
We ready to go, man, and I'm ready to meet some people face to face, man.
Jay Majors were here, he would know that. If he was here, he would know that.
Say that again.
If he was here, he would know that.
You know what I'm saying? We
would know that. And the thing about it, bro, go ahead. I ain't gonna get on my bad. You about to make me get on my shiesty shit. I ain't finna get on that. Go ahead, bro.
Man, I'm looking forward, man, to vibing with everybody, man. We're gonna have a ball.
I will be there.
I will be there. I'm disappointed in myself, bro, because I ain't made my way up to Knoxville yet. Reggie is my neighbor, bro.
Yeah, we close by, man.
How far?
And something else, bro. I know somebody through the proximity.
We already done had that conversation.
You know what I'm saying? So listen, we locked in, my boy. So it's like, bro.
So Reggie, when will you get there?
To see.
Yeah.
See. I'll be up there Saturday.
Okay.
So I'm driving.
Yeah.
I'm driving.
You're a bad boy.
You a bad man, bro. You a bad man, bro.
Woo.
So I'll be up there Saturday about 12 o'clock-ish.
Woo.
Yeah.
You're bad boy.
God damn.
Right.
That shit made my back hurt. That shit made my back hurt, bro.
Somebody said they hope to chop it up with us at CT. I hope, a lot of people who get on here with us, man, we're able to connect and meet face to face.
Definitely. Hey, and don't be taken aback when you find out that I'm the exact same way in real life. I'm the same person. I'm guaranteed. Listen, I'm from the South Side of Chicago. I don't know how to be nothing but loud, bro. It don't exist, bro.
So it is what it is.
It is what it is, bro. I can't. Yeah. Let me ask you, Reggie. What are you most anticipating about CT, bro?
Conversations.
Okay.
Conversations.
Yep.
I was supposed to be there last year. The situation didn't make it, so I'm ready to mingle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
ready to drive.
There's not a lot of man. There's not a lot of companies really advertising anything besides the Tomb 45.
Right.
So I'm looking to grab that, see what's going on with that. But other than that, I'm ready to talk. See what's on everybody's mind. You know what I'm talking about? Do some content while I'm up there. Have a good time.
Yeah, no doubt.
I want to ask you a question that everybody on this live is thinking. And you didn't have this question on pretty much every video you've posted in the last few months. Will this be the time that Reggie trimmed the beard?
No. Nah, I'm gonna look. I thought about that since everybody be saying that. I thought about just leaving it as is. I be busy, man. I do need to make time for it. But no, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna be
You
different.
gonna come in with the
Girl up on the side.
Hey, I'm gonna be a little different. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be a little different.
Hey, mentioned you to my son today. He looked at me. He said, "Man," he said, "Dad, you getting on the podcast, man. You need to go ahead and do something with that beard."
Hey, Marcus the Barber. Shout out to Marcus the Barber. Southside. Hey, that's where I'm from, bro. I graduated from Finger High School, bro. If you know what that said, you know where I'm from, bro.
The jungle.
The jungle. Boy, the mud.
But yeah, I told him I wasn't doing nothing till next week. So
yeah. I'm gonna get it situated though. I'm gonna get it.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna do something freaky with the beard, bro. I'm trying to be different. You're not gonna be able to miss me in that room. Let's just make that apparent. Not miss me.
Yes, sir.
I'm jumping all the way out the bag, and like you said, bro. Well, what you most anticipating, bro?
The conversations. You know, I definitely, it's some classes because it look like they got some beasts with on the shear work.
That's
my weakness. You know what I'm saying? Just
see New York just beat Miami, bro.
Did they?
They had to get one more.
That's what's up.
Look, my bad.
They can't lose. They can't lose in New York.
I seen that in front of me.
Yep. But yeah, I that shear work. They got some beasts in there. So I want Kenny. Last time we was in Miami, Kenny Duncan, his class, man, he was so articulate and broke things down so simple. So I want to education and just plugging into to people that we done vibe with on here. So I'm just all around. I think, putting on the hard bottoms on Grammy night, the whole night.
I think that's the thing that I'm looking forward to most, man, is meeting people who I see them on social media, or they've reached out on social media, or I follow them on social media. I'm excited to put faces with those names and personalities behind those. To me, that makes it more real. I already try to be as authentic as I possibly can to every person I talk to on social media without a face. Right. So to be able to associate a conversation with somebody reaching out, that's gonna be the highlight for me, bro.
No doubt. We're gonna have a ball. I had a client. The world is so small. I had a client who used to who's from New York yesterday. He just moved to the area. And he grew up, he's from New York, but lived in Connecticut. And he was telling me, I told him, get ready to go to the show. He said, man, you got to go to Michael Jordan's steakhouse. He's like, you got to. I said, okay. I said, I'm gonna see what's to it. You ain't feeling you ain't feeling the steakhouse.
Hey, I've been to his restaurant in Chicago, bro. I've had better. I ain't knocking it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But I've had
maybe
better, bro.
They got somebody in the kitchen doing something.
Maybe. Personally, I'm looking forward to a nice, decent glass of bourbon, a cigar.
I told the wife. I said, I'm sure me and I ain't drank in a while, and then I done got on a little scotch kick. So I said, I'm sure me and Shy gonna have a drink and a cigar.
That is gotta happen, bro. It's gotta happen, bro.
Sure.
I got 2 bottles of bourbon. I don't know how I'm gonna get them there, but I'm gonna try. Man,
all you gotta do get the plastic wrap. The bubble wrap it up real good, tuck it. You know what I'm saying?
I be scared of that though, because with this now, if I was driving 70 hours like Reggie, I could do that. But with this beard and my last name, they gonna flag me immediately.
No, but over here. Let me holler at you.
It's not illegal. It ain't illegal. You can put it on the underbelly as long as you wrap it up. We done flew home with liquor. They'll check your bag. They'll go and make sure it's good. But you know what I'm saying? You could definitely get it there. It ain't illegal.
You know what's
as long as on the underbelly.
Check my bag, bro.
Yeah, you have to check it. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about every time I've flown, my bag has been flagged, like to come off the belt.
Really?
Right in the guy, every single time I've ever been on the plane, they pull my bag off the belt and they go through it, bro.
You run with made men.
I'm not.
Hey,
It's the beard, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I put on the beard and they look at me and they see my little brother and they be like, hell no. Come on.
Well, hey, y'all. Hey, I appreciate y'all having me on here for the few minutes that I was supposed to be on.
I know I'm probably ready to get at your throat.
The eyes are cutting deep.
We're sorry.
So we about to go. Okay. We about to go lay it down.
we apologize. Thank you for the time.
Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. I'll be on here next week.
Man. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Man, it's perfect timing. I'm about ready to watch that game.
It's finna come on, bro. We need to reach out to Jay, man, see what happened, make sure he okay.
Yeah, I was rushing. I had some messages. I don't know if in my DM, so I don't know if one was from him. So I'll definitely reach out.
Definitely, man. Please, I'll reach out to him too, bro, just to make sure he's straight.
Okay.
His world set up, bro. It could be anything, and above anything, I just want to make sure he's okay. No
doubt. What's up, Barbara Plug? Man, it was even though he couldn't make it, man, beautiful conversation. Some things that really hey there, Stacy. Native Barber, we got to get her back on. She actually lived in Chicago. She taught at a barber school. Okay. In Chicago, I met her at a hair show. Got cool. Been linking ever since. And then she moved out to AZ, not too far from where my mom is. She out there teaching and opened up her shop. So she do the bourbon and cigars.
Oh, I just followed her, so I followed the right person.
She actually do it at her shop.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, we got to get her on, man, because she opened it a few months ago. So get her back on. We've had her on before early on. So yeah, I want her to talk about, you know, how that's going, because she's one of those. She went from Chicago, even though the cost of living is expensive in Chicago, but went out there and it done shot through the roof. So her switch up and relocating. So we'll get her on as well.
Okay, bet. Say less. I'm with it.
Yes.
I'm with it, man.
Man, I appreciate it, man. You put some things on my mind. When we get to CT, man, when we able to link up, man, you had a couple ideas that run through my head that I ain't just gonna, throw them out here, because you moved with something that was pretty interesting. Stacey, I'll make sure I contact you and we'll set up a Wednesday to get you back on. We definitely appreciate it. But yeah, man, we have a cigar, and I wonder if they got any cigar bars, or if we need to go ahead and grab us on a
bid that is like, if the building functions like a casino, I would be surprised if they didn't.
Yeah. It said it's that town is, I guess, not very big, but the casinos and they got their stuff. So it's a nice place. So I'm gonna research, and if not, then we can get a drink there if we don't bring nothing. But we might need to get our cigars before we leave home. But we'll see what it do.
Oh, I stay with it lit, boy.
Okay.
I carry cigars like them like them Chicago natives carry them Newports.
Okay.
I always stick close somewhere.
Well, we definitely gonna get it in.
Say less. Well, it's been a real one. Dante Financial jumped on. Dante, what's going on?
Good.
We will be live again every Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Central Standard Time.
Yeah.
This is My Way Out podcast, live every Wednesday at 7:30 Central Standard Time on Instagram. If you haven't, make sure you go up, click the link, bow, follow, and turn on post notifications so you can be notified when we go live this upcoming Wednesday.
Absolutely.
If you, somebody you know,
absolutely,
to be included in a feature on a live, our doors are wide open. All you got to do is jump in that inbox, the I Cut My Way Out podcast inbox, let them know, hey, I got an interesting story, I'm ready to share it, or I know somebody who has the dopest story I've ever heard, I'm ready to share it. They're ready to share it. Right. Let us know, and we'll make that happen. So, other than that, it's been a good night. I'm finna go watch these Lakers do what they need to do.
Yes, sir. Man, you looking for the Lakers to close it out?
I need the Lakers to do it, because I want to see my boy Brian do it at 90, bro. I want to see at 90 LeBron make it to the finals, bro.
That's what's up. Man, we had a good one, man. I appreciate it again. We got one more before we hit the CT, and I'm going to make sure I hit Jay Majors up and let him know, man, we've been pumping this CT, and we excited. So, man, I don't know what they're doing overseas, but we doing our part.
Definitely. Congratulations on your 700 followers.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's
keep doing what you're doing. I'll keep on.
I'll definitely hit you. Are you familiar with Made Affiliates? She said, let's get Made Affiliates. So that's
I haven't. I can't say that I have.
Okay.
Just off the name, but I just followed you, the Native Barber. Yeah. If you can send their Instagram,
right?
I definitely reach them. Listen, I'll be jumping the inboxes. I know I don't belong.
Yeah.
Seeing if they're available, but the only failure is if you fail to try.
Absolutely.
So,
always say fail but a try.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But we all,
man, y'all
have
a beautiful evening. We appreciate everybody jumping on. Y'all enjoy this game, man. Let's go Warriors. Let's get it cracking. We'll be back next Wednesday before the CT, and then CT time it is.
All right, bro.
Yes. All right, I appreciate you, bro.
Yep.
Yep.